Be ready. 5 seconds.
Elections in India are very important because they help people choose their leaders. India is a big country with many people and everyone has the right to vote. Voting is a way for people to decide who will lead the country and make important decisions. Elections happen at different levels, like for the Prime Minister, Chief Ministers of states, and local leaders in villages and cities. India is a democracy, which means that the people have the power to choose their government. Every few years, elections are held so that people can vote for their leaders. The person or party that gets the most votes wins and forms the government. This system helps to make sure that leaders work for the people because they need their votes to stay in power. The Election Commission of India is the body that conducts elections in the country. It makes sure that elections are fair and free. It decides the dates for elections, prepares the voter list, and checks that no one cheats. Before elections, political parties hold rallies, give speeches, and promise to do good things for the country. Candidates meet people, listen to their problems, and try to convince them to vote for them. Posters and banners are also used to spread their messages. Social media has also become an important tool for political parties. Candidates use platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to reach more people and share their ideas. To vote in elections, a person must be at least 18 years old. Every voter gets a voter card which proves that they have the right to vote. On the day of voting, people go to polling stations where they cast their votes. Earlier, people used paper ballots, but now electronic voting machines are used. These machines make voting easy and fast. Each voter presses a button next to the name of the candidate they want to vote for. After voting is done, the votes are counted. The candidate with the most votes wins. If a political party gets more than half the seats in the election, it forms the government. If no party gets a clear majority, different parties come together to form a coalition government. The winners take an oath and start working as leaders for the people. Elections in India are held at different levels. The biggest election is for the Lok Sabha, where members of parliament are elected. The leader of the party that wins this election becomes the prime minister. Then there are state elections where people choose members of the legislative assembly. The winning party in the state election forms the government and its leader becomes the chief minister. Local elections are also held in villages and cities to elect leaders for panchayats and municipal bodies. Elections are important because they allow people to choose their leaders. They also help in keeping democracy strong. If people do not like their leaders, they can vote for someone else in the next election. This system keeps leaders accountable and ensures that they work for the good of the country. If leaders do not fulfill their promises, people have the power to remove them in the next election by voting for a different candidate. There are rules to make elections fair. Candidates cannot use bad means to win. They cannot give money or gifts to people to get votes. They should not spread false information or make false promises. If anyone breaks the rules, the Election Commission can take action against them. The police and security forces also help to keep elections peaceful and safe. The media also plays a role in exposing unfair practices and keeping elections transparent. Sometimes elections face problems. Some people try to cheat by voting more than once or stopping others from voting. There is also the problem of fake news which can mislead voters. To solve these problems, the Election Commission keeps a strict watch on the process. It uses cameras, security teams, and strict checking to make sure elections happen in a proper way. In some areas, the government arranges special security measures to prevent violence during elections. Many people in India take part in voting, but some do not. Some do not vote because they feel their vote does not matter. Others do not vote because they are not interested. This is not good for democracy. Every citizen should vote because every vote is important. Even one vote can make a big difference. The government and different organizations encourage people to vote by spreading awareness. Schools and colleges also hold programs to educate students about voting so that they understand its importance from a young age. To make voting easy, the Election Commission takes many steps. Special arrangements are made for senior citizens, disabled people, and those living in remote areas. In some places, polling booths are set up so that people do not have to travel far to vote. There are also postal ballots for people who cannot come to the polling station on election day. Recently, discussions have started on allowing online voting, but it is still not implemented due to security concerns. Young people play an important role in elections. As soon as they turn 18, they get the right to vote. Their votes help shape the future of the country. Schools and colleges often run programs to teach students about the importance of voting. Many students also help during elections as volunteers, guiding voters and spreading awareness about fair elections. Young people are also active in discussing political matters on social media, which helps in spreading awareness about different policies and government plans. Technology has helped improve elections in India. Online registration makes it easy for new voters to get their voter cards. Electronic voting machines make voting simple and fast. Voter awareness campaigns on television, radio, and social media help people understand why they should vote. With these improvements, elections are becoming more transparent and efficient. The government is also trying to introduce biometric verification to ensure that only real voters cast their votes.